Environmental science, in simple definition, is the study of interaction of humans with the natural environment. Environmental science is the field of science that studies the interaction of physical, chemical, and biological components of the environment, and also the relationship and effects of this component with the organism in the environment. The field of environmental science can be divided into three main goals, which are to learn how the natural world works, to understand how humans interact with the environment, and also to determine how we affect the environment. In the public places, there are a variety of things you can see, from animals, human, insects, chair, buildings, etc. These are the things you can see in our surrounding. We can classify the things that we can observe in the surroundings into living and non-living things, also known as the biotic and abiotic components. Biotic factors relate to all living things in the ecosystem. Their presence and their biological byproducts affect the composition of an ecosystem. Biotic factors refers to all living organisms, from animals and humans to plants, fungi, and bacteria. The interaction between various biotic factors are necessary for the reproduction of each species and to fulfill essential requirements like food. Biotic factors are grouped by scientists into three major groups, which define the role in the flow of energy which all living things in the ecosystem need to survive. Autotrophs are the producer in the food chain, meaning they create their own nutrients and energy. Kelp, like most autotrophs, creates energy through a process called photosynthesis. An autotroph is an organism that can produce its own food using light, water, carbon dioxide, or other chemicals. Heterotrophs are known as consumers because they consume producers or other consumers. Both primary and secondary consumers are heterotrophs, while primary producers are autotrophs. We humans are example of consumers. The two main groups of decomposers are fungi and detritivores. Decomposers like bacteria and fungi don't eat their food. They decompose it externally. Also, decomposers consume nutrients on a molecular level, while detritivores eat large amounts of decaying material and excrete nutrients. The term abiotic refers to all non-living factors present in an ecosystem. Sunlight, water, land, all constitutes the abiotic factors. These factors have a significant impact on the survival and reproduction of species in an ecosystem. An abiotic factor is a non-living part of an ecosystem that shapes its environment. In simple words, environment is defined as the natural world in which people, animals, and plants live. Thus, environment is the surroundings in which living and non-living things live, interact, grow, and perish. The conditions present in the surroundings govern the life of the creatures therein. The Earth looks like one large structure, but it has many different features. The basic components of environment are atmosphere, or the water, lithosphere, the rocks and soil, hydrosphere, the water, and the living components of the environment, the biosphere. With all these spheres combined, it gives us the whole sphere of life, the planet Earth. Atmosphere. Atmosphere is a gaseous layer enveloping the Earth. The atmosphere with oxygen in abundance is unique to Earth and sustains life. It mainly comprises 78.08% nitrogen, 20.95% oxygen, 0.93% argon, 0.038% carbon dioxide, and traces of hydrogen, helium, and noble gases. The amount of water vapor present is variable. Earth's atmosphere is so much more than the air we breathe. Earth's atmosphere stretches from the surface of the planet up to as far as 10 kilometers or 6,214 miles above. After that, the atmosphere blends into space. Not all scientists agree where the actual upper boundary of the atmosphere is, but they can agree that the bulk of the atmosphere is located close to Earth's surface up to the distance of around 8 to 15 kilometers, 5 to 9 miles. The atmosphere is an important part of what makes Earth livable. It blocks some of the sun's dangerous rays from reaching the Earth. It traps heat, making Earth a comfortable temperature, and the oxygen within our atmosphere is essential for life. Lithosphere. Lithosphere is the outermost layer of the Earth's cold crust, which is made of different minerals. Its depth can reach up to 100 kilometers and is found on both land and oceans. The main component of lithosphere is Earth's tectonic plates. The lithosphere includes the brittle upper portion of the mantle and crust, the outermost layer of the Earth's structure. It is bounded by the atmosphere above and the asthenosphere below. The cool, brittle lithosphere is just one of 5 great spheres that shape the environment of the Earth. Next is the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere comprises all forms of water bodies on Earth, including oceans, seas, rivers, lakes, ponds, streams, etc. It covers 70% of Earth's surface. 97.5% of water found on Earth is in the oceans, in the form of salt water. Only 2.5% of water on Earth is fresh water. Out of this, 30.8% is available as groundwater and 68.9% is in frozen form as in glaciers. Amount of 0.3% is available in rivers, reservoirs, and lakes and is easily accessible to man. As we all know, the survival of living organism without water is impossible. Life on Earth entirely depends upon water. All the spheres interact with other spheres. For example, rain, or hydrosphere, falls from the clouds in the atmosphere to the lithosphere and forms streams and rivers that provide drinking water for wildlife and humans, as well as water for plant growth, biosphere. Water evaporates from the ocean into the atmosphere. The activities in modern society are having a severe impact on the hydrologic cycle. Biosphere. Biosphere refers to all the regions on Earth where life exists. The ecosystem that supports life could be in soil, air, water, or land. The term biosphere was coined by geologist Edward Suess, who used this term for a place on Earth where life can be found. Biosphere refers to sum total of all living matter, the biomass or biota. It extends from polar ice caps to the equator, with each region harboring some life form suitable to the condition there. Together, they make up all the components of our planet, both living and non-living. And while we can describe each individually in terms of its properties and features, you'd have a difficult time finding an example where one sphere doesn't either touch or interact with at least one other. This is important because these interactions are what drive Earth's processes. Materials on Earth doesn't stay how it is. It gets recycled into other phases and forms. Plants in the ground die, and as they are broken down by microorganisms, they become soil, which can then feed new plants. Water cycles through different phases and locations, like when it evaporates from the oceans and then rains down onto the ground or into the lake. Rock also gets recycled under Earth's surface, where it is melted down and then sent back up in volcanic eruptions. Environmental science is an interdisciplinary field of study. which combines ideas and information from the natural sciences, biology, chemistry, geology, and the social sciences, economics, ethics, politics. The course allows for students to build on scientific concepts, which we learn in previous science classes. It provides a real and direct connection for students between the study of the science and the world around them. Biology is the natural science that studies life and living organisms, including their physical structure, chemical processes, molecular interactions, physiological mechanism, development, and evolution. Chemistry, the science that deals with the properties, composition, and structure of substances, defined as elements and compounds, the transformation they undergo, and the energy that is released or absorbed during these processes. Physics, the study of matter and energy, includes engineering. Earth science, the study of Earth's non-living systems and the planet as a whole, includes fields such as geology, paleontology, climatology, and hydrology. Social science, the study of human populations, includes fields such as geography, anthropology, and sociology.